The Book of Job is an interesting dialogue, the format of which is not seen often in the Holy Bible. It shows that those who claim to be your friends may be pursuing your downfall with their mouth, that those who claim to be for you are really against you. The book also mentions a few creatures: Behemoth, 1 Job 14, which I believe to be an extinct land animal called the Brontosaurus; the Leviathan, 1 Job 41:1, which seems to be a sea creature, as God asks a rhetorical question: who can fill its head with fish spears, and mentions it has scales; and surprisingly enough, the unicorn, 1 Job 39:9, which would mean this book also serves as a historical document. But there is nothing new about some parts, about the fact that your closest friends turning against you, saying unto you an unfulfilling, unencouraging word, giving unjust advice, showing false humility with the disguise of comforting you in your time of need. These things are nothing new. So much so that God's wrath ended up being aimed towards Job's 3 friends. Job abides in the land of Uz, and initially has 7 boys and 3 girls bore unto him. He also has 7,000 sheep, camels, and 500 oxen teams, being described as the greatest man in the East. Job precociously sacrificed burnt offerings on behalf of his kids who lived in their own houses, 1 Job 1:4, that he might appease God for sins they may or may not have committed while they abode abroad, a sacrifice for their own sake, from his own flock, 1 Job 1:5. Escheweth, 1 Job 1:8. Job escheweths evil according to God, pushes it away, denounces it. 1 Job 1:17. Early mentions of the Babylonians, Jeremiah 5:15. Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Israel, saith the Lord. It is a mighty nation, it is an ancient nation, a nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understandest what they say. 1 Job 1:21. Job says, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Satan presents himself before the Lord, 1 Job 1:6 to 1 Job 2:1. God asks Satan a rhetorical question, 1 Job 2:2. He asks, from whence comest thou? And Satan replies, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. God knew where Satan was. Similarly in Genesis 3:9. 1 Job 4:7-8. Eliphaz suggests that the calamities are the direct result of Job's guilt and unrighteousness. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Which is a rhetorical question. Even as I have seen, they that plough iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. Eliphaz sees a spirit, 1 Job 4:14-16. The voice informs him of God's personality and works. We can see Satan being slightly malicious, seeking revenge due to the fact that God has a friend and loyal companion in Job. Satan used to be highly favored before he decided to rebel against God Almighty, and decided to indefinitely depart, causing him to, as Jesus spake, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan fall as lightning from heaven. Luke 10:18. Evil loves evil, not because it loves the fellow worker of it, but because evil feels validated amongst itself. Satan plots to maliciously take away Job's joy and blessings from God Almighty, which he was only able to do with God's permission for a season. Job condemns his friend, 1 Job 6:21-27. Job's supposed friends are getting him down. In Job's anguish, he confesses that he has sinned, even though this is not the case. His friends had spoken negatively and falsely about him, even Abaddon. 1 Job 4:8. In his time of tribulation, when he was at his weakest and most vulnerable. 1 Job 7:20. But in 1 Job 1:8 and 2:3, God describes him as a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. His friends are exhibiting false humility and are acting as an ailment in Job's side in his time of trouble. Job wonders why God hasn't pardoned his seemingly terrible transgression. This idea now pursued by his neighbor Eliphaz in his time of anguish. 1 Job 8:6. If thou wert pure and upright, says Bildad, surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Again, we see another one of his so-called friends speaking to Job as he had transgressed against the Lord. But behind the scenes, in the spirit dimension, God had nothing but good things to say about Job, and in fact had ordered Satan not to slay him. 1 Job 2:6. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Meaning, don't kill him. 1 Job 8:20. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will he help the evildoers, adds Bildad. Scourge. 1 Job 9:23. If the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. Scourge seems to be referring to an instrument used to punish but not totally destroy. 1 Job 10:15. If I be wicked, woe unto me, and if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. I am full of confusion, therefore see thou mine affliction, Job says. Job's friends are confusing Job with their views. 1 Job 10:16. For it increaseth, thou huntest me as a fierce lion, and again thou showest thyself marvellous upon me, says Job, referring to God Almighty. At the end of the book, Then the Lord answered out of the whirlwind in the midst of the group, and said, Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? 1 Job 38:1-2. We see God immediately entering the scene angry and disappointed with what Job's three friends have been speaking in his ears. God then asks a series of rhetorical questions that put them to shame. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea? Or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. 1 Job 38:16-18. We see God mocking their perceived wisdom and experience with his own perfect wisdom and knowledge. 1 Job 40:9-12. Hast thou an arm like God, or canst thou thunder a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, talking to Job, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold every one that is proud, and abase him. Look on every one that is proud, and bring him low, and tread down the wicked in their place. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. 1 Job 42:1-2. And it was so, that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath. Therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him I will accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that ye have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job. 1 Job 42, 7-8. Job's friends did as God told them, and surprisingly enough, God restored Job after he prayed for his friends who said these things to him. And after he prayed, God gave Job twice the livestock and animals he had before. It's important to make a distinction when people say, God gave Job twice of everything. For in Job 42:13, it says, he had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, the same amount as he had before. So this puts this assertion to death. And he called the name of the first Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Kerenhappuch. And in all the land were no woman found so fair as the daughters of Job. And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons, and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of days. 1 Job 42:13-17.